Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's episode is all about our trees. So the first thing that we're going to do is repot some small saplings that we have growing in individual containers in our backyard into bigger pots because they've already outgrown their small pots by now. I know it seems like a simple task, but we're going to tell you why we're doing this and how we're going to go about doing that. So the second thing we're going to tell you about is all the different types of trees that we have growing on our property and why we decide to plant them here. So we have about 3 different varieties, and Jay and I are going to tell you about those. And then the last thing is a quick update on our flower bed behind the master bedroom. We've made a little bit of progress on it, and we still need to buy plants and pick out exactly what we're going to put back there, but I'll give you a quick update on that. So we have a couple things to talk about in today's episode, and I think you'll enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, I'm out here in our garden area where we have all of our trees that we started from seed, and we have some red oaks, live oaks, and pecans that we started. The red oaks and live oaks were really easy. We just planted the seed in the ground and they grew, and the pecans took a little bit more work. We had to stratify them, so we took some vermiculite, put the seed in the vermiculite in a plastic bag, and then put it in the fridge for about 3 months. And then after that, we took it outside and planted in the ground in a small container, and that's how it grew. So I'll show you our red oak first. This one is so pretty right now. It has really pretty maroon leaves. I can't wait for these trees to get bigger because they look so nice in the fall and winter. So here's the red oak that we have, or one of them that we start from seed. Next to it, we have a live oak right here, and this guy is really small. Live oaks take a long time to grow, so it's a long-term investment, but still looking really good. And then here's another red oak over here. It hasn't started changing its leaves yet. And then I'll show you a pecan. They're not very interesting. They're just kind of twigs right now. You can see these are all pecans. They've lost their leaves, but they'll come back in the spring when it gets warmer. So here are all the trees that we started from seed. We dug a ditch in the ground. As you can see, they're kind of like buried in the ground a little bit, and that was a suggestion from my dad to keep them a little bit cooler because they are in black pots. So keeping them in the ground, even though they're not buried in the ground, will keep them a little bit cooler in the summer. So that is why we have them here. All right, so we have a little bit of dirt that we have in the backyard, and we're just gonna fill up the pot a little bit to make sure it has enough dirt in it. And take Mr. Red Oak, and looks like it's pretty good. We're gonna put him in the new pot. This guy is definitely ready for a new pot. You can see its roots are definitely at the bottom, ready for a new home. Then we'll take a little bit of soil and fill in the space around it. That's it. Voila, we've repotted our tree. Happy home, happy tree. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wanted to quickly talk about the types of trees that we have growing on our property and why we decided to choose these varieties. So the first one is our trusty live oak. These are really common where we live, and one of the reasons why is because they're evergreen. So it's really nice because we're in January right now and the leaves are still really green. It's going to be molting in the spring, but they'll get their leaves quickly after that. So here is one that we bought from the nursery. It's about 6 to 8 years old, and it's looking really good, really healthy. We've been fertilizing it and watering it if it gets dry. It's been plenty wet here, so we haven't had to water it lately. And we're really excited for these to grow. The only downside of having a live oak though is that they too take a long time to get big. They're very slow growing trees. So if you can wait a little bit, or if you have time to plant some, I would definitely recommend it. I think they're really beautiful, especially when they get big. So that is our live oak. So the second type of tree that we have are red oaks, and these trees are really pretty when they change leaves in the winter and in the fall. They get a really nice maroon color, just like that red oak I showed you earlier in this video. So we have a whole bunch of those planted and they grow pretty fast. So that's why we like them and we have them growing here. Here's one of them that we already have in the ground. This one's been doing pretty well. Its leaves are starting to change. Still needs some more time to get bigger. This one's probably about 2 or 3 years old. So it's making its way, and hopefully they'll be nice and big one day soon. And the last type of tree that we have is a bald cypress. These trees love to be in water, especially next to ponds or in a pond. And we have this tree growing in a really low, swampy area of our yard. We just got 2.5 inches of rain a few days ago, so I don't want to walk over there because it's really swampy. But here is our bald cypress, as you can see. Oh, it's super swampy in this area, so it's loving life right now and really enjoying being in all this water. So that's a great tree to have if you have a low area or if you have a pond. It's great to plant over there, and they get really big really fast, and they're really cool to look at when they're big too. So those are the 3 varieties of trees that we have, and then I'll briefly discuss what we've been doing with our back flower bed behind the master bedroom in just a second. So let's go take a look. So the last thing I want to talk about is the progress that we've made on our flower bed project behind the master bedroom. So right now it is just a giant ditch. Jay has been working almost every day after work to dig out a little bit of it, and so he's made a lot of progress. Here it is right now. The reason why we're digging out a ditch basically behind our bedroom is that we're going to backfill it with topsoil, because the soil that we have in the ground is this really thick clay material that they used when they built our house pad, and so it's really doesn't have any nutrients for plants. So we're going to put some topsoil back into it to give it a lot of nutrients and help the plants be a little bit more successful when they try to grow. So it's a little bit swampy here. Like I said, we got a lot of rain a few days ago, but we're almost done with this, and we'll be able to plant some flowers and plants pretty soon. All right, thanks for joining us today as we have tree talk with you guys and tell you about the trees that we have growing and also how we're doing on our back flower bed project. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.